Welcome back to the Addictive Wellness channel. My name is AnnaBlanca.
And I'm Sage. We are coming at you from a couple weeks deep into quarantine self-isolation, and we wanted to check in and give you guys an update on everything going on with us on a personal level, on a health level, what we're doing in terms of supplementation and herbs and supporting our immune systems, what's going on with our business. Are we in business? Are we out of business? Are we shipping chocolate? Have we been shut down? You're going to find out.
Why don't we start with the supplements? We take the D3 with K2 and also Ketska in nano-emulsified form.
And then we are also taking, of course, B12 and glutathione, and these are notoriously poorly bioavailable, so you want to make sure you're always taking those in liposomal form so they can be very easily taken up when you're just holding them under your tongue.
Yeah, we hold it there for about 30 seconds, which sometimes is very hard because I want to keep talking to Sage. And
they're not the best tasting either, but they're worth it.
Oh yeah, that's so true. Also, we take zinc.
And vitamin C is one we normally take. We were pretty prepared for everything coming into this, but we got caught a little out of position without having any liposomal vitamin C on hand. Because, ultimately, if you can get vitamin C in an IV, that's how you can get the highest blood levels. But obviously, with every business closed down right now, nobody's going to be able to get that. Next best option is liposomal because it absorbs very easily through the mucosa membranes in your mouth. But then we didn't have any, so we happened to have a kilo of ascorbic acid powder made from tapioca rather than like normal GMO sources that it would come from. So at least we've had that. But we've got a shipment coming in of some really high quality liposomal vitamin C. So definitely looking forward to that because it's going to be a lot more effective.
Thank God. Also, beside that, we obviously, because it's part of our business, we take adaptogens, aka super herbs, and for example we have the immunity collection that contains cordyceps, astragalus and reishi, and I like to make every single day, both for Sage and I, a different version of it because he doesn't take certain things like whey, and I like to put that into my tonic. So I'm going to make a whole recipe video of this because I don't want to make this video even longer than it usually is, but this drink is so delicious, so easy to make, and if you have it every single day, you get those herbs right into your system, easy to absorb.
And why don't you give them a quick rundown just so they don't have to keep waiting? Because a lot of people watching it probably already bought the immunity collection.
So half a teaspoon of reishi, half a teaspoon of cordyceps. We actually put a whole teaspoon of astragalus because the taste of it is just so nice. And then I take 2 tablespoons of grass-fed whey, 2 tablespoons of collagen, and I make this incredible 1 cup of Earl Grey tea. I like it with that, but if you make it with gynestomach or just hot water, that's great. 1 cup of coconut milk that I heat up and blend it over, and 1 tablespoon of MCT and maybe stevia if you want to put like a little bit of honey, and then I blend it up very high, and you have this creamy, delicious, yummy drink. Oh my God, now I'm just thinking about it. I want to have one.
And also throughout the days we've been having our elixir blends. That's a great way to be able to get these herbs in as well. If you don't want to deal with figuring out a recipe or any of that, you just blend it with a cup of hot or cold almond milk or coconut milk, and it's got these herbs in there. It has high levels of all these herbs, of cordyceps, of astragalus, tremella, another great immune supportive mushroom, and you have reishi if you're having the cacao elixir blends. So there's plenty of ways to make sure you're getting these herbs into your system and the systems of your loved ones on a regular basis.
And one packet has like a minimum of 3,200 milligrams of herbs. So you don't get a Mickey Mouse dose, you get like a good one.
Yeah, no Mickey Mouse dose. Disneyland is closed.
Exactly.
And of course, there's more we're doing than just herbs to support our immune systems. That's a very important piece of the puzzle. But, immunity as a whole is something that results from an overall balanced and healthy lifestyle. We're in our clear light sauna every single day. I do about an hour in there, split up in 2 half-hour sessions with a cold shower at the halfway point and a cold shower at the end. AnnaBlanca, what's your routine like?
I do 35 to 40 minutes. Sometimes I can do 40, and I start at 130 degrees and I go up. I can't just go in like immediately in a very, very hot situation like you do.
Yeah, everyone's got their different comfort levels with it, but the interesting thing with infrared saunas is there's a small amount of research, but it is significant, that shows that infrared saunas even at a very low temperature. Like one of the studies was at 104 degrees, which is super low even for an infrared sauna. You easily get up into the 130s, 140s, 150s. Even at that low temperature, it was significantly increasing levels of what's called heat shock protein 70. And heat shock protein 70 is found to be able, of course, not specifically in the case of COVID-19, because nobody's studied anything with this yet, right. But with other viruses to be able to inhibit their ability to replicate. So it's very interesting. And also you're essentially creating a fever in your body. And that's, when you get a virus, your body creates a fever because it makes life harder for the virus. It's a part of the healing response.
Damn virus!
So
punch them out.
Do that a little bit preemptively. And of course, in our sauna, we also have our red light therapy panel with the red and the near infrared that's so great for mitochondria. Your mitochondria are producing the energy to power every single cell in your body. So if your mitochondria are healthier, everything is going to be working better, including your immune system.
Oh, and sunlight. Sunlight is wonderful. We are very lucky because the way our windows are, both in our living room and in the bedroom, that we have direct sunlight all afternoon. So we just open up all the windows and we have a bed in the bedroom right at the window. So we just go there and tan, and then we have a meeting. That's why we talk, cuddle a little bit, because it's so important in quarantine.
And we open the window so it's not coming through the glass, because then you're not really getting the benefit from it. We try to open the windows at just the right angle so we're getting the actual direct sunlight coming through.
Yes, so we spend at least 25 minutes, if we can find the time, at least half an hour there in the afternoon.
But we're not doing it today because we're here for you guys recording this. Looking forward to getting back into the sun tomorrow. And then, of course, you guys know probably by now that I'm a big fan of the Wim Hof method, and that the ability of it to tonify the nervous system, to improve oxygenation of the body, which is naturally going to support immunity. And there's some fascinating research that's been done on the implications of the Wim Hof method to strengthen and activate the immune system. So that's another big part for me too.
And meditation. Of course, everybody's talking about it, that right now the worst thing that we can all do is panic and get incredibly scared for ourselves and for our loved ones, and that completely compromises your immune system. So if you can just find a couple of minutes a day and meditate. For Sage and I, it's usually we do it at bedtime. You can find 10 to 15 minutes, meditate together, and it would calms us down, and then we can try to go to sleep. We haven't done that for a while because we've been so incredibly busy, but we'll do it tonight.
We're working on it. We're not perfect, but we're always trying.
Yes, that is the slogan, darling, right there. We're not perfect, but we're trying. We keep trying.
Yeah, and we're making sure we're getting in regular movement and training. I really, for the past couple of months, have been loving training with kettlebells, and so I've been doing that right here in the living room. Working on it. Inspections.
His muscles are like really, really hot. It's nice to be in quarantine with somebody so much in shape. I'm sorry, I digressed. Keep talking.
No, this is your department. Now, what are you doing?
I have these... I got stuck in the 90s, people. I love these aerobic steps because I can just put on those little wrist weights. Yeah, I pack them on. It's like 1.5 pounds on each arm, and I put on some music, and then I just go to town, like really enjoy myself. And I have weights, extra weights, straps, whatever I can do, just get some movement in. Doesn't happen every day. I promise you, it doesn't happen every day because we're just way too busy. But if you can, I can do at least half an hour, 40 minutes every day.
And as AnnaBlanca was saying, one of the most important things for immunity is keeping down your stress. Now, we're not telling you don't worry about this at all. If you hear Daniel Amen, he often talks about how the people who are the don't worry, be happy people have the lowest life expectancy because they die of preventable illnesses and accidents. You don't want to be those people. You want to have an appropriate degree of awareness of what's going on around you and the threats to your life and your well-being and your longevity and that of those around you. But you don't want to be caught in the loop of in a cycle of stressing about it harder and harder all the time. So I know nothing is worse than telling a stressed person you need to chill. It doesn't work that way. That is the reverse effect. So I come with solutions. There's so many. You could be taking herbs to help with this. Things like reishi mushroom, ashwagandha, holy basil, pearl powder, albizia, perhaps even rhodiola for some people can be helpful in that way. You can take supplements like magnesium glycinate or magnesium L-threonate, which really crosses the blood-brain barrier, unlike other forms of magnesium. So you can increase brain levels of magnesium. That's not only very relaxing, but actually has an anti-aging effect on your brain. And then you could do different breathwork practices, yoga, exercise, just extra cuddling time with your partner can even be very helpful here. So lots of possibilities. You can get some magnesium bath salts and have a nice hot bath with a ton of magnesium in there and soak it up transdermally because you absorb magnesium through the skin very effectively. So plenty of functional ways to go about bringing down stress.
And emotionally, I think we're dealing really, really well. I really believe that sharing positive news instead of just sharing this exaggerated, negative, scary news, it's so much better. And we love seeing how creative people get by entertaining each other and lifting each other's spirit on social media. I mean, just another day, I keep seeing songs, famous songs that people remake for the quarantine, and they're really fun, really lovely, and I really think they help people to focus on the positive and don't stress out so much. Also, I've noticed, I don't know about you, probably have as well, that somehow this crisis brings out the kinder part of humanity in us. We really support each other and lift each other up, and people really trying to find new and more interesting and more creative ways to help each other. I mean, we are staying at home, but there is social media, there is so many different ways that people can show up for one another.
Yeah, and of course, just between us, we're working hard to support each other through this. We're very into talking and having plenty of cuddling time and just being open and honest about our feelings. Like it's probably once every day or two that I walk in to talk to AnnaBlanca and you're like, this is just so crazy. It's just so bizarre because we're kind of at home just doing the same thing as always. Normally we work from our home office and once or twice a week I'll go to our commercial facility downtown where our products are made. So we're very used to working at home. It's not unusual for us not to leave home for sometimes a couple days because we work out at home, we have a sauna at home. It's kind of just all happening here. But then at the same time you realize, whoa, crazy stuff is happening in the world. And it just got a little bit more real for me just yesterday because all the public beaches in LA County have been shut down. So my one escape that I thought would at least be there through the summer was my great passion of being able to go surfing. And that now, so I'm
we were going to go
processing
for a hike today, but even the hiking.
Can't go hiking.
Yeah.
So we're, adapting. Just as you feel like, okay, I'm all right with this. Just don't take away anything else. Then, they got that other thing. So,
yeah, we are adjusting and we are trying to stay centered. Centered is the word I was trying to look for. And of course, one of the essential parts of being in quarantine is being able to feed everybody who's in quarantine with you, right? So we have a very well stocked kitchen and home kitchen and cupboards and the fridge. I always like to cook very healthy dinners for both of us. We make our own breakfast. Sage has his amazing recipe that I really think we should make into a video soon. Because we start different times of the day, I like to have breakfast a little bit later. But dinner is always together. It's always very nutritious and quite great. If I might say so, but he says that all the time, so I'm just quoting, right? If you guys would like to know how I organize the pantry and how I run the whole thing, let me know in the comment below, and I would be more than happy to share. I have systems for everything. And Sage, you also make things for us.
Yeah, and I sometimes, she'll request an ice cream like has been requested for later today after we're finished shooting. I don't know what flavor you're going to go for.
Oh, I'm still thinking about that.
Okay, we'll figure that out. And then, of course, this is more important than ever to eat like we always do in the sense that no sugar, right? No processed foods, none of that kind of stuff, because especially with the sugar, that is one of the fastest things that's going to bring down your immune system. So, people that are out there, unfortunately, boredom eating junk food, it's not a very good health strategy. But I'm sure if you're watching this channel, you're probably already well aware of that. And you guys probably are wondering what's going on with our business, because pretty much all businesses in Los Angeles have been shut down. Everybody's working from home. Of course, we can't make chocolate from home, so how are we operating? The good news is, and we're super grateful for this, is that as a food business, we were considered in the category of essential businesses that are allowed to continue operating. Because if people are going to survive, they have to have food. So that's why they keep the grocery stores open. If the grocery stores are going to be open, somebody has to be supplying the food to those grocery stores. And that's where we come in. So we're still supplying all of our retailers who are still open. You know, a lot of our retailers were not grocery stores, so they're not open in different parts of the country. But lots of our retailers are still in business. We're supplying them. We're taking orders online, still shipping. Everything is good. We're, you know, very grateful to be supporting people's health during this time, and grateful that people have trusted us with that. And, you know, if there is some silver lining here in all of this, it's seeing people really prioritize their health and their healthy immune systems and bringing down inflammation and things like this more than ever. So, you know, while there is a great deal of tragedy going on, I think at the same time, because so many people are reprioritizing their health, they're probably, through all the work they're doing on their immune systems, just in terms of prevention, they're actually probably sorting out like lingering microbial issues they had, different digestive issues, things that their immune system was never quite strong enough to tackle. They're probably actually sorting out now without even realizing it, just because they're trying to, you know, be proactive and preventative.
I never thought about that way. I think it would be absolutely wonderful. I like having silver linings.
So the goal for everybody watching this should be come out of this crazy period that we're in now healthier than you went into it.
And we are actually working nonstop at home. We are in a quarantine, but we have 2 home offices, and we work.
We have one home office that's split between 2 desks, one in the bedroom and one in the living room.
Yes, precisely what he said. And we work non-stop. And we love it, of course, and then that's what we always do. So not much has changed on that front. We keep working. And Sage also is going to keep doing his wellness Q&As in our Instagram stories, which have been some wonderful questions.
Yeah, they've been better than ever lately. So thank you to everyone who's been sending in great questions and watching. It's a lot of fun. And what you might want to know is, how are we taking care of our employees during this time, right?
Yes.
And so we are very proactive about these kind of things too. As things started to develop, one of the first things that we did was made sure we supplied enough of these powerful immune herbs, things like astragalus, things like cordyceps, things like reishi. We set up all of our employees with enough so that they have them,
families.
and their families have them, so their whole households are optimally protected.
For over a month now, I think, right?
And the work schedule has been staggered to minimize to maximize the amount of potential time that we have there and minimize the proximity of people to one another. So everything is well taken care of there, and all our team is super healthy.
And both Sage and I, although we are very strong and very healthy, we are 100% respecting social isolation. I think we haven't left the house for a month, apart from some very, very strong exceptions. I think I left one time when we went to that hike, and you left only 2, maybe 3 times. Yeah,
I went surfing a couple times before, of course, beaches were locked down. And, you know, I've done a couple trips to Erewhon to get our favorite Grindstone Bakery quinoa millet sprouted seed loaf. But, you know, I come home from whenever I'm out, we have a whole routine.
Protocol.
Yeah, so
right at the door.
First thing is we have an alcohol spray that I'm spraying the bottom of my shoes. Take those off. And then
I'm holding a garbage bag, and he puts all his clothes in there. And very quickly, very cutely, butt naked, he goes to the shower and takes a full-on shower, washes his hair.
And so those clothes that go into the bag, those, well, 2 things. They nobody touches them for 4 days, and then they end up going in the wash.
And we are just incredibly grateful being able to order anything online that we still need, that people are still operating and they're still delivering, and we are really, really grateful for that. And for example, like if I'm ordering from Amazon Prime, I have to be like a very quick click sniper, because just trying to find a delivery time, it's extremely hard. So sometimes it takes me a full day to snipe it.
Because you go to checkout and there's no available delivery
delivery time. So I have to like keep refreshing the page, and then finally there's a delivery time, and then you have to, as quickly as possible, grab that and pay. So we do that, and when it comes to the door, I'm also disinfecting everything. Whatever, spray it with alcohol spray, or if it's for fruits and vegetables and things like that, I wash them in a food-grade hydrogen peroxide in the kitchen and then disinfecting a kitchen afterwards. We're doing a lot of things to take care of ourselves, but mainly we are not leaving the house for in case if we somehow contracted the virus and then we would be infecting other people. I think it's the most important thing that we think of others.
Yeah, it's one of the trickiest things with this virus, right? Because if you're super healthy, you can get the virus and become potentially completely asymptomatic, yet still spread it. It's
not aware of
bizarre, but
to me, that's that's the scariest part.
You got to address that and take the appropriate actions. So respect to all you guys who I'm sure are watching this from home, or maybe somebody's watching this in 2023, reflecting back on what a darn crazy time that was. And I have a question to leave you guys with. I would love if you would leave a response in the comments. What are you in the process of doing or planning to do with your health to come out of quarantine healthier than you went in? What are you doing, or what is your goal, and how do you plan to achieve that?
I want to know about everybody's goals for that.
I'm really curious. I've been thinking about that as we were going through this. I didn't plan to ask that, but just kind of came up in my head as we were going along.
I like that.
Thanks guys for joining us. It was fun sharing this update with you. Hope everyone's doing well and staying safe, and that all your family is going to come through this smoothly. Sending you all of our love and a big, big bubble of protective love, if I could just say that, to you and all of your loved ones. See you guys soon. Not used to this. I don't know how to act, don't know how to adapt to this situation. Not used to this, no I'm not.